Yo, what's good? It's your boy Red, Journey with Red. I know I dropped a lot of bombs last episode. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for actually, if you've done so already, subscribe to the channel. Again, we're doing these every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This has been a rat race type of week so far. I mean, the rat race is definitely there and it's popping. It's popping. But you know what? I guess you would call it grit, as my grandfather would call it, grit. The ability to actually take nothing and make it into something. You see it, I'm actually going through those books, I'm putting them up. Go ahead and cop one, I would definitely appreciate it. I have been working on a business plan to actually take World of Red Media LLC to the next level. One of the things that I did learn while I took the Light class is a business plan is not set in stone. Okay, you can always go inside, look at it, and readjust it to fit the needs that fit your needs, basically. I find myself in a position where I need to buy a house. I need to really get that building. I need to fast forward that to get that building so that I can do a couple of things. You know, make one part of it living quarters while the other two parts of it would be business. I've been working with a couple of online programs trying to figure that out, and the results that I'm getting are very, very good. So look for that in the near future once I get it, so that not only you will say, hey, listen, I want to invest in that, but a bank will be like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. How much do you need, sir? I guess I'm going to call this episode Change. It's one of the things that is a constant in our universe that we live in. It's one of the things that we just can't escape, no matter how steadfast we want to be in the present or be in the mode of, hey, listen, this is what I'm used to, this is what I'm going to stick with. Change is very important. Sometimes the universe, I find the universe will force you into a situation where you must change. And depending on how hard you fight against that change, you will find that, you know, the universe is going to do what the universe does. It's going to force that change on you. It's going to make you adapt to that change. There's a book that I read when I was in a business class for a company I worked for, Who Moved the Cheese, and I think everyone should read that book. It's actually, in fact, if you look on YouTube, you can actually, they made like a little cartoon rendering of that book. Adaptability is what's important, okay? Look at it, if you believe in the way this world turned out and you believe in dinosaurs and stuff like that, you know, you'll find that throughout history, animals that did not adapt would actually disappear. You know, I mean, even to bring it up to more recent times, you know, the last few hundred years, you look at the dodo bird. Dude, run, okay? I know you may not have seen people before, but run. These MFers are going to shoot you and cook you. They think you're tasty. You know, adaptability is the reason why we as human beings have come to the extent or the level that we've come to in this present day, because we adapt to change. Am I adapting fast enough? I don't know. I really don't know. I won't know that until the smoke clears. However, am I willing to put my all into adapting and change? Yes. Yes, I know this is how the universe moves. I know this is how life moves. I know this is how life unfolds. You know, we go through it. We constantly find ourselves in situations where we are going through it. And when we look at those situations, sometimes we find that, hey, listen, if I just take a quick breath, take a quick moment and look at the options, I can find a way out. I've said this for years. Life is really, really like Pac-Man. It really is. There's always a way out, no matter how, I guess, crazy the problem is, no matter how intense the problem is, no matter how, you know, We often find ourselves in situations where we feel like we have a weight tied to our ankles and someone has just dropped us into the bay. You know, that's usually code for the mob has caught you, you owe them money, and they've actually put an end to you. You know, we often find ourselves in those situations, but unless you really do owe money to the mob, it's not that serious. You know, life actually plays out like a game, and if you know the rules, if you understand the rules, if you understand the limits of the game and the ways that you can expand upon the game, you will find that you will always, and I go back to the Farm Ranch, you will find it's like Pac-Man. There's a way out. Instead of dodging left, you might dodge right, and you might get away from Blinky. You know, I mean, that's just the way it works. I mean, really. You know, one of the things that I kind of left behind and I have wanted to really get into, and I think this is, and I've said this in so many clips, so many lives, so many videos, this is what the universe is pushing me towards, is Church of Real Talk. Just to give people, I guess, the understanding that life isn't really that bad. It really is meant to be stellar, you know, but we have to embrace the stellar moments. And, you know, and I hate to say this, but sometimes we have to embrace the bad moments. And the reason why you have to embrace the bad moments is because those are the moments that you actually learn from. When you sit up there and you say you're going through it, when you get through it, aren't you bigger, better, faster, stronger? When you think about it, don't you have a newfound energy, a newfound faith, if only to be able to avoid the trap the next time? Think about that for a second. You know, the Church of Real Talk was based on many different levels. I've always wanted to give a message. I've always wanted to help my fellow human being. And at the same time, it falls back on habits of life, positive thoughts for an effed up individual. Effed up world, not an individual. Okay? But an effed up world, the reason being was I was going through something. And the catalyst in my mind was someone else. It was really, in my mind, if you asked me back then, oh, it was this person's fault. It's not that person's fault. It was my fault. It was my misunderstanding of the task. It was my misunderstanding of the mission. It was my misunderstanding of the goal. The goal is always the same. Be better today than the person you were yesterday. It gets no simpler than that. Be better today than the person that you were yesterday. You know, there are a lot of people that I know personally that's going through, and I try to have these conversations about being too preachy because I'm going through my own thing right now. So I'm not going to sit up there and browbeat somebody else of what they should do. But I'm trying to get to the level where I guess the word is consulting or a consultation where people can sit down and I can outline based on having cell life positive thoughts for after world to give those people tools, tips and hints to get past it. I got past it. You know, now your boy going blind. I'm going to get past that too. Sooner or later, I'm going to kick dirt. I'm going to get past that too. We're here now. We're living in the here and now. That grit, that thing that I talked about earlier, that's what's important. You know, to show what you're made of. You know, when we came over here, you know, as slaves, and we were forced to build this country, we showed grit. We ran away a few times. You know what I'm saying? Some of us lost limbs. Some of us were tortured. Some of us were hung. To send a message to the others like, don't do this. Don't try to adapt or adapt to change. But we did anyway, didn't we? And look at us now. Look at us now. We can eat in any restaurant we want to eat in. Well, for a certain state, you gotta have the money to pay for the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? You know, we can go where we want to go within reason. I wouldn't drive through Georgia or Tennessee late at night on the highway. But for the most part, we have seen change. Do we have a long way to go? Yes, we do. Do I have a long way to go? Yes, I do. Do you have a long way to go? Yes, you do. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Journey with Red. You already know I'm Red. And most importantly, no matter what happens, always remember, love you guys.